Hey guys, Jarell here, GreyWolf TV, back with our episodes of Fringe. We're on to episode 5. Now the big reveal in the previous one, which was a brilliant episode, was the fact that Olivia got her memories back. When Walter hit that bell in the lab, it triggered her memory that William Bell had done that to make her suppress the memories in the first place. And her goal was to try to stop one of these shapeshifters called, let me get this right, the First Wave, he said they were called, and they were after opening a gate between the two sides, the two worlds. Also, we finally got a working piece of one of those gadgets that they have, which seems to be encoded to their particular structure or DNA, so they can't swap between people and devices. It's coded specifically for them. So we got the rendering. She found out it was Charlie. He tried his best to make her think that Nina was the shapeshifter, but she caught him and she's had to shoot Charlie. Now I don't know how that's going to affect Olivia, because she's quite an emotional person, as all these episodes have shown so far. It's what makes her such a good detective. So I think this is going to affect her quite badly. What can you do? Let's find out. That's enough of a recap. Let's sit down and watch episode 5. What kind of drugs have you been taking? Damn!
Whatever happened, we'll take care of it. It'll all go away. Later, you know how much trouble you caused me? I am going to destroy you! What the hell?
Damn! Look at his eyes!
You know that you have a bedroom, right? Upstairs.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Don't worry, son. I promise to wear my shorts to bed so that if you bring any young ladies home, there won't be any embarrassing moments.
Agent Dunham sent this over. A man kills his boss, he doesn't remember, and then he has this really crazy thing with his eyes.
Pack a bag, Walter. We're going to Seattle.
There you go. Do you have a card? In case we need a ride while we're in town. Thank you.
He's been asleep for 16 hours. Like he was drugged. The doctors only managed
That's
to
what I
wake him up
said.
a few minutes ago.
Can you tell us what happened, Mr. Leader?
Doesn't make sense. You're gonna think I'm crazy.
Try me.
It was like the office was infiltrated by these creatures. And Carl, he was their leader. Like some demon. Like it was...
You've been drugged. Uh-oh.
Mr. Leader?
Look at his hair! Oh my god, he's white!
Achromatrichia, hyperkeratotic skin lesion, clear signs of dehydration. It seems that this man died of acute exhaustion.
That doesn't make any sense.
What?
Human beings can't
Not
die
that
of...
we're aware of, no. I need to go home. I don't like it here.
Walter.
This city has a smell.
Walter.
It's wet.
It's wet.
Me of Sinclair's.
Buddy, I've been with the Bureau for 3 years. Flying your father home shouldn't be a problem.
Right. And whatever you do, under no circumstances, let him drink.
Bit of a tippler, huh?
No, at any given time, there's a good chance there's about a half-dozen psychotropic drugs in his system, so it's not a good idea.
Do you have a business card? So that I can send you a copy of the results.
Why does she keep asking for business cards?
Did your husband have any sleep issues? These books, Guide to Sleep Disorders, Understanding Sleep.
He used to sleepwalk. He had seen a few specialists. He hadn't had an episode in 6 months. We'll need the names of those doctors.
The turbulence over Ohio was like being in the belly of a seizing whale. I screamed like a little girl.
No, it's Bishop. B-I-S-H-O-P.
Hey. I didn't wake you, did I? For the last couple months, he's been averaging between 8 and 10 hours of sleep every night.
Then how can he die of exhaustion?
What the heck is that?
Some kind of little computer chip
Yeah.
in his midbrain.
What does that do? The thalamus? Why is it relevant?
Part of the brain that regulates sleep.
Dr. Nayak? I'm Olivia Dunham. I'm with the FBI. We were wondering if you were familiar with Greg Leader and Ellen Rosiello. Both of them recently committed homicidal attacks and then died as a result of what appears to be extreme exhaustion.
So you've implanted those chips into other...
I was right.
It's a large-scale clinical trial. There are 60 in the control group and...
Somebody after his research?
The main computer server. It contained all my research.
Dr. Nayak.
My research assistant. Zack, call the nurses. We need the names of all the patients, everyone they can remember. All the initial testing has been remarkable. It's cured sleepwalking, night terrors, all major non-REM sleep disorders. It wouldn't make them hurt anyone, and it certainly wouldn't kill them.
If I faxed you a schematic of the device's internal architecture, could you test the chip you have?
Yeah. Though I'd need to replicate the chip's function in a neutral environment.
He thinks it could be mind control, but modifying the biochips would take a lot of trial and error.
So he thinks that someone's trying to perfect mind control one patient at a time.
Oh, before you go, could you do me a favor? Smell this. It seems my olfactory sense is a bit muddled. Must be the French roast coffee I had for breakfast.
Raspberry?
You get the business cards?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Hey,
his
you asked
idea.
everyone you saw wearing red?
Yeah. So what do I do now?
Lay them out in front of you like you're playing Go Fish. Circle one letter in every name, both first and last. Now, jumble.
Jumbo?
Jumble, anagram, word puzzle. Find the phrase.
There's no sign of a DDoS attack, and given the level of online security in the facility, we think whoever wiped the files must have had a password.
So it was someone in the clinic.
It would seem that way.
And then attacked with a knife? I had to wrestle it away from her. She was so happy. This doesn't make sense.
Diane suffered from night terrors. She was just in my office last week.
We're gonna have to make a public announcement.
Zack Miller, FBI.
No, he's dead.
I guess that's why I wasn't answering the phone.
Oh my god, it's in the wardrobe.
Don't tell me you put that chip in his head.
No, but I wanted to. This is mind control. Then the chip should receive commands from me through the neurostimulator. It's then translated into impulses that Agent Kashn's brain can understand. Anything?
Nope. Walter, what is it?
Other green unicorns just raced across the lab, or I accidentally took some LSD. Must be mescaline. I think that's not the drugs at all. I think I have an idea what it is.
I told them. I showed them your damn note. So you might as well stop.
The chips aren't simply monitoring sleep. They're accessing all the sensory information that passes through the thalamus.
Leader's sleep journal. He slept for hours, but he never had any dreams.
Before they reached his consciousness, they were all siphoned off. Which
Wow.
means no dreams. The brain can never recharge, and that
Would lead to death by exhaustion.
Exhaustion.
What's more, I believe that the chips have the ability to turn on a dreaming state while the patient is awake. Think of your most pleasant dream and multiply that feeling tenfold.
We're dealing with an addict.
Not just an addict, dear. A man who came in contact with this drug. In my estimation, that man would become its slave.
My stepfather was an addict. He was drunk. And it was like he had two different personalities. One when he was sober and one when he was smashed. This is the patient list that Dr. Nayak wrote out, and here is the death threat he received. These are written by the same person.
It's him.
I told them. I showed them your damn note.
He's called himself.
Might as well stop.
Oh wow, you've just thrown your life and career away.
Jack, what are you doing? Jack. Jack.
Peter, he's plugged in.
Let me try to shut down the program.
Shut it down?
I think it's locked.
Jack! Delivery 822, squawking 7700.
Okay, stand back.
That'll work. Jesus. Oh, he's dead. This anagram he's asked her to work out. I know what it is. You're gonna be fine. How weird is that? That's what she said Charlie said. Wow. Okay, that was actually quite an unusual case of the week. Completely separate storyline, but we still get little bits of character development to continue where we left off. I said at the beginning, before we started this episode, I thought Charlie's death was going to affect Olivia. I know he had already died quite a bit before, but that's the first that she learned of it, and she was the one who had to pull the trigger with Charlie's face. That, what Sam Weiss has just helped to do, that was probably helped to get over it. I don't know how the hell that word with the business cards, how he knew that phrase was going to come out. That was quite clever. As for the actual case of the week, it was a little weird. It was a little strange. It was just basically a doctor who had invented a chip that was supposed to be able to help people sleep and get into proper REM sleep, and then found out his chip had another purpose, and he was basically stealing people's dreams. The high you would get off that, as Walter said, is right, you would be completely enslaved with it, because you think of all the dreams that people could have, all the best nice dreams, sexual dreams, whatever, you could just siphon them all off. Wow. And right at the end there, Peter mentioned in the episode he didn't have dreams for a few years because Walter actually helped him. That's why he knew so much about sleep journals and stuff. And at the end there, I'm presuming that little kid he showed was him. I saw the poster on the wall that said 1984 with a space shuttle on it. And then he seemed to get yanked. I need more information than that. That was just too quick of a clip for me to glean any information from that yet. I'm sure we'll get more. I don't really have an awful lot to say other than that on that episode, to be honest, because it wasn't a main story progression in general. It was a bad guy of the week episode. It was perfectly fine. I didn't mind it. The science and the technology behind it is probably nothing like what we actually have, but it was still enjoyable. Right guys, that will probably do for this one. We'll be back with more episodes of Fringe later in the week. This is actually the second for this week, so the next episode will be in a few days time. So go and hit that subscribe button, please turn on your notifications, and while you're at it, go and hit my Twitter down here and I can let you guys know when everything releases. So until the next one guys, all I can say is thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.